Doing well. The first thing I would like to do, and just get this out of the way, I do have an update regarding my impending appearance on the Side Scrollers podcast. Okay? I will be appearing on the show next week. Not this week now, but next week. The exact date I will reveal soon. I don't know if they want to reveal it first or if I'll reveal it first. I'm not sure. But basically, keep you in suspense a little bit. But the way it's going to go down is their show, just so you guys know, the Side Scrollers podcast is a podcast that started a little less than a month ago. It used to be a very long-running podcast in the mid-2000s into the early 2010s, back when ScrewAttack.com existed. They don't exist anymore. They were bought out by Rooster Teeth and then basically liquidated. And so this podcast, was rejuvenated, and they invited me as a guest, but they just want to be on as a normal guest. It's a variety show. This show covers a variety of topics, including regular news, gaming news, all kinds of interesting pop culture topics. And so I was like, wow, that sounds really interesting. I'd love to do that. But then, of course, when they announced that I was going to be on the show, all my detractors and haters jumped on the bandwagon, absolutely demanding that the guys on this podcast interrogate me about all the drama and nonsense on the internet about me. And so this first appearance on the show is going to be that. Essentially, it's going to be an interview where they're going to be asking me about all the bullshit, and I will address it. The thing is, for those of you who are fans of mine, who are here, and chill with me every day, you've already heard these answers. Like, you already know the answers to all of these questions because I've answered them all in my own content. The problem is it's never really been consolidated into one sitting, like one focal point to summarize it all together. I can't even imagine where they're going to start because of all the bullshit that's been said about me over the years. You can just imagine. I mean, just in the to preface this, a few days ago, what was it, last week? Last week, they were talking about my pending appearance on the show, and immediately they bring up things that literally are untrue. Well, Phil doxed people before. Literally 100% untrue. Never happened. Oh, well, Phil has a whale contributor and people make fun of him because of his Twitter. Completely wrong. Like, not even correct. And they're bringing up like 5-6 things. This is what all the detractors say. They're all completely wrong. That's what I mean. Like, the show's going to basically be they throw a million ridiculous things at me, right? Some of which I'll admit I'm guilty of. I've told you where I feel my shortcomings are. But some of this stuff is just nonsense. And so it's going to be me basically answering all their questions, and getting it out of the way. So, is it going to suck that it has to be an interrogation appearance? Yeah, it will. I don't want to sit down and be interrogated, but it seems like in order to get past that, so that I can actually be a normal person again, I have to do this. Okay? So, yeah, next week I'll be appearing on their show. The exact date I'm not going to tell you, but here's how it works. Their show begins broadcasting at 9 a.m. my time, Pacific time, 11 a.m. Central time. So 9 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Central time. So I'm actually going to get up early one day next week, and I'm going to be on their show, all right? Normally their show lasts an hour and a half to 2 hours. I predict this is going to be a long one. Like, I seriously predict out of all the shows that they've done, likely they're going to end up, there's going to be so much discussion about my history as a content creator, my shortcomings and problems I've had, but also the absolutely insane amount of stuff that has been made up about me and me trying to clarify the truth of all those situations. I get the feeling it's just going to be a long interview, okay? And I'll be ready for that. I'll tell them, listen, maybe I gotta get coffee or whatever in the middle, whatever it has to be, Tonight, I'm going to actually work on getting my stream stuff set up to work with their show. To make sure that everything is kosher. I jump on without any technical problems or whatever. That would really suck if, here, we're ready to go, and then fucking thing doesn't work, right? So I'm going to start, figure that out tonight. And, honestly, let me put it this way. Am I excited to be on the show? Yes and no. I'm excited because Stuttering Craig, who's the, owner-operator of the show, is someone who I've known for the longest time. I was a fan of his back in the day in the mid-2000s before I was ever a YouTuber. I watched his stuff on ScrewAttack.com. I hung out with him and the ScrewAttack team at MagFest 2007 before I had ever put out a gameplay video. Okay? So it's cool to say, wow, I get to be on that show and interact with these guys or whatever. At the same time, I don't want to be interrogated, but it seems like there's no way around this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just got to get it out of the way. And it's going to be to me, it's going to be boring and tedious. It's going to be like 2 hours of, oh God, here we go, answer the same shit again, tell you my answer again, you know. But to them, it's going to be fascinating because likely they've never heard my answers. That's the problem is I've logically answered all the shit thrown at me, but no one hears the answers. They only hear the noise of the detractors reverberating the accusations because that's what gets echoed on YouTube, not the actual answers to the questions. You see? So finally, I could just sit there and be like, all right, we got to get out of the way. We get it out of the way, you know, and we'll see how it goes. Because here's the thing. I can't make anyone believe the things I say. I feel like no matter what, there's always going to be people who are going to not like you. And there's going to be people who want to believe what they want to believe. So it doesn't matter if they ask me 2 hours of questions and I answer everything rationally, logically, and to the best of my ability without, of course, putting myself or my family at personal risk. And people will still say, well, that's not enough. He didn't answer enough. He didn't show enough evidence. He didn't do this or that. And that's fine. What are you going to do? But at least then it's out there. And if people have these questions, they can watch the show. And if they don't believe me, they don't believe me. But at least the questions have finally been answered and it's put to bed. Enough of the beating the dead horse bullshit. You know, I said my piece and then we're done and we can move on. And if people won't move on, well, then screw them. Right? Who cares about them? You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I feel about the whole thing. But anyway, yeah, it's going to be next week, okay? So I'll let you know exactly when we have the date set in, unless they would like to reveal it first. In fact, I'm almost feeling like maybe they want to reveal it first. It is their show, after all, rather than me spilling the beans. But yeah, it will be next week, and it'll be before my content. You know, my content, my stream starts 10:45 a.m. Pacific time, and then, you know, the actual podcast here usually starts between 11:15, runs till 12:30, and then we have gameplay. Well, then whatever day this podcast is going to be, I'm just going to let it ride.